You know, a lot of companies mean well when it comes to managing AI risk, but keeping those controls alive and kicking, that's the real challenge. Today, we're going to dive into how you can embed AI governance so it becomes a continuous, company-wide habit and not just another project that fizzles out. So, this is really the million-dollar question you should be asking yourself. Is your organization's approach to AI governance a one-and-done project, or is it a living, breathing habit? Because trust me, the answer to that has huge implications for your entire business. And this really breaks down the two mindsets, right? The project approach is siloed. It's treated like a one-time checklist you just have to get through. But the habit approach, that's all about shared responsibility. It's continuous, and it's constantly evolving, just like the AI it's supposed to be governing. This leads us to what I call the governance treadmill. It's this cycle that so many organizations get stuck on, where they're trying to solve a really dynamic challenge with a completely static solution. I mean, think about it. AI isn't some piece of software you just install and walk away from. It's literally designed to learn, to change, to adapt. So treating governance like a finite project is it's fundamentally flawed. The thing you're trying to govern is a moving target, which means your governance has to be just as dynamic. Okay, so how do we actually build a system that can keep up? Well, the solution lies in a really structured, three-layered approach. It's all about creating alignment across the entire organization. Let's build this from the ground up. At the foundation, you have the tactical layer. These are your developers, your business teams, the people on the ground. They're held together by the operational layer. That's management and compliance. The folks turning big ideas into actual policies. And then, guiding the whole thing, you have the strategic layer. That's your leadership, setting the North Star with the core principles and defining the company's appetite for risk. When these three layers work together, governance becomes a system of alignment, not just a series of roadblocks. Look, a great framework is awesome, but it's just a blueprint. You need an engine to actually make it run. And that engine is built with people, process, and a deep, shared understanding. And that engine really starts with one key thing: a cross-functional AI governance committee. Now, don't think of this group as gatekeepers. That's the wrong mindset. Think of them as the builders of a shared safety net. Their job is to bring structure, accountability, and a whole bunch of diverse perspectives to the table. So who should be on this committee? Well, it's a team sport for sure. You need your security lead, your data officer, legal, compliance, all the usual suspects. But here's the kicker. It's just as important to have leads from the business units who are actually using the AI, plus an ethics or diversity champion to keep fairness front and center. This mix makes sure that big decisions aren't being made in a vacuum. But here's the thing. Even the most perfect committee is going to fail if they're working alone, because you simply cannot govern what your people don't understand. Technology and policies are only half the battle. The other half is building a workforce that's knowledgeable and aware. And I really want to stress this. This isn't just for your tech folks. Yes, of course, your developers and data scientists need it, but so do your product managers and even your marketing teams who are using all these new AI tools. Basically, anyone who touches AI needs practical training on things like bias, privacy, and responsible use. Because when people see real-world examples of what can go wrong, they get a lot more invested in making sure they get it right. All right, so we've got the structure, we've got the people. Now comes the really important part, weaving this into the very fabric of your daily operations. This is how we truly turn that one-off project into a sustainable, everyday habit. This means embedding governance right into the AI development lifecycle. This is not some final check you do at the end. No way. It's a continuous loop. You're asking questions at the design stage, you're verifying tests during the build, you're getting the committee's stamp of approval before you deploy, and, crucially, you are monitoring and learning long after it's launched. So how do you know if this whole loop is actually working? You measure it. It's that simple. You can improve what you don't measure, and key performance indicators, or KPIs, are what turn governance from this vague, fuzzy concept into a hard operational reality that your leadership can actually track and support. So, what kind of things should you be tracking? Well, stuff like the percentage of your AI projects that have been reviewed by the committee, the number of bias incidents you detect, and, more importantly, resolve. What's the completion rate for your AI ethics training? And how quickly are you responding when an AI-related incident does pop up? These numbers, they tell the real story of your governance health.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like in practice? Let's take a look at the real-world payoff when an organization actually gets this right. So let's talk about a global insurance firm. They had a classic problem. AI models were popping up in different departments, all in their own little silos. There was no central oversight, no shared registry, just a whole lot of hidden risk bubbling under the surface. So they decided to get their house in order. And the result? Just look at this number, 40%. That's the drop, the reduction in their AI-related incidents. And get this, it happened within just 6 months of putting in a central governance committee and a shared model registry. It's a pretty powerful testament to how quickly structured governance can slash your risk. I mean, look at that transformation. They went from a totally fragmented, high-risk process with scattered responsibility to an integrated governance loop with central oversight. And what was the outcome? Their innovation didn't slow down, it was protected. And honestly, that is the single most important takeaway from our whole discussion today. This isn't about adding red tape or slowing people down. It's about building guardrails. Embedding governance doesn't slow innovation, it protects it. It actually lets you move faster and with a lot more confidence. So we're going to end right back where we started, with a question for you to take back to your team. I want you to look at your own AI efforts. Are you truly building a resilient safety net for the future? Or are you just ticking boxes on a checklist for today?
This episode was brought to you by Complianta, the boutique consultancy helping organizations build secure, ethical, and audit-ready AI systems. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one, explaining practical guides on AI risk management, ISO 42001, and responsible innovation. Want to know where your organization stands? Book your free AI risk assessment today at complianta.co. You'll find the link right below in the video description. Complianta, compliance made simple.